This is round 5 of the European Individual Championship. The game we're going to look at is Fedoseev Vladimir versus Bacrot from France. In this game, it's the Queen Indian Classic variation. The game goes d4, d5, e4, e6, knight f3, number f6, e3, bishop e7, b3, black castles, bishop b2, b6, bishop d3, bishop b7, white castles, c5, e2, c takes d, e takes d, knight c6, knight b d2, rook e8, rook c1, rook c8, rook fd1, bishop f8. White introduces a new novelty by playing g3. Previously played was a3. One game is Kof versus Delgado in session 2011. The game continued g6, c5, a5, bishop b5, knight d7. Black went on to win 38 moves. Another game continued bishop b1 instead of g3 on move 14. g6, knight f1. This was Adamski, Rakovsky, Prague, 1966. Another more recent game is Ivanov, Tomaszewski, Olginka 2011. Going back to our game, Fedoseev played g3 and Bacrot replied g6, controlling the f5 square. Fedoseev played knight e5. Bacrot went for the pawn exchange. Pawn takes b takes c4, bishop c7. Instead of bishop g7, you could have tried knight takes d4, bishop takes, queen takes, knight b3, with a big advantage to white because the queen has got no square and the bishop is going to take the pawn on g6 and take the pawn on f7, so that would not be good because the only move is quick retreat on the d line. So better, what he played was, I think, much better. Bishop g7. White went for bishop c2. Another alternative was queen, bishop c3. If knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, end up playing the same variation. So bishop c3, queen takes 6, and equal playable game. After bishop c2, quite playable is knight takes d4, bishop takes, queen takes d4. It's an equal game. But black played knight d7, white played bishop a4. Another playable move would have been knight e4, knight, let's say on c takes e5, pawn, the d pawn takes on e4, bishop takes e4, bishop takes e4, queen c7. Equal chances because the queen is out of danger, out of the pin, and the knight is going to go on c5 in the next move. But white played bishop a4, and black went for queen c7. An alternative would have been the knight swap on c5, d takes e5, queen takes, queen c7, c5, pawn takes, knight b3. Same as before. So one move would be, let's say, rook on e to b to d8, just on the knight, and with equal chances for both sides. So after queen c7 by black, white played f4. The bishop was played on bishop a8. White has got a more active position, and moves like d5 or a5 are like threats to black's position. But he went for knight e4 with the same threats of d5, with pressure on the knight on c6. Black went for f5, attacking the knight on e4. White played knight e5, the knight on c2 on e5. One alternative is h6, knight would on the g would go back to f3. If knight on c takes e5, white can now take the e5 with the f pawn. Looks solid and gains more control of the center. If he takes with the d pawn, then black can play rook on e to d8, takes the rook from the pin, and the knight is gonna, if he can just play knight on c5 with a good play. So after knight takes e5, pawn takes e5. Another alternative would have been d takes rook d8. White can put pressure on the e5 with rook d6. Which should have been better for white if played gone that way. But he took with the pawn on e5. Black went for queen b7. Threatening rook, queen a h1 check. White went for d5. Black played e takes d5. I think black let slip. He could have played better with b5 on move 23. One line would go bishop takes b5, e takes d5, c takes d5, rook takes rook, and rook takes e5 with equal play. Alternatively, bishop takes e5, king f1, queen c8, knight e6, but it's better to take with the rook. Put the pressure on the d5 pawn. So black let's sleep with e takes d5. b5 would have been a better alternative. White took the pawn on d5. The rook took on c1. The rook took on c1. Bishop takes e5. Another alternative would have been queen takes d5, bishop d3, knight f8, queen d5. And that will be definitely losing for black. So bishop takes e5. So the pawn in d5 is untouchable by the queen. With the queen on b3. So white played bishop c6. White has to rotate the queen b8. Alternative is queen c8, knight e6, bishop d6, queen c4. With a strong grip on the white squares. So black went for queen b8, knight e6. One line is if he instead of 96 queen b8, if he takes the bishop on on d4, then black is over d4 and the queen is going to lose the queen on e2 like this, and rook takes e2. So knight e6 and these will be the best. So black went for bishop takes c6. The best would have been rook c8. If bishop takes, then black can play rook c1, bishop c1, and queen d6, which is much better than what he played. He played that. Now white is going to pass pawn on c6. That gives more pressure on black's position. So black played knight c5. White played bishop takes e5. And black, these are almost like force lines. Rook takes e6. Bishop takes b8. Rook e8. Now the pawn on c6 looks menacing. Bishop takes e7. If black went for knight e6, if he plays rook takes a2, the pawn on c6 looks dangerous. Rook c7, rook takes queen jack, king c7, and d8 wins for white. So you went for knight e6, bishop b6, rook a2, c7, knight take, rook takes, rook a4, bishop e3, a5, h5, h4, and black resigned, because definitely the pawn on h6 is gonna fall, the king is gonna come up the board and win the game. An interesting game. The main move was the novelty on move 14, g3. an odd looking at first view, but the novelty looks a bit weird when you look at it first time. It makes little sense, weakening the white space on the long diagonal. But with precise play, the aim is to dominate on e5 and cramp black's position. I hope this move is going to definitely be analyzed by more grandmasters in the future. Thank you.